Welcome everyone to this month's Astrocolorscope. My name's Elizabeth Harper. My website is sealedwithlove.com. So the idea of the Astrocolorscope is that in a moment I'm going to pick some crystals from this bag, throw them into a circle of houses, and then read the crystals, the colors, the energy of the house, etc., specifically for your sign. I'm also going to take a bead from my bead bag just for a little extra influence of color, see what else is going on. Then I'm going to, I like doing things in threes, then I'm going to pick a card from the Voyager deck for your sign, and I'm going to ask you to take a look at the card and see what you are most attracted to in the collage of images, and then ask you what that means for you. Of course, I'll read whatever I see in that card as well, so we can put it all together for your particular sign. So before we get there, we're just going to have a little look at what's going on this month. So to begin with, we have one of the big things is Mercury is going retrograde on the 19th of May. And of course, you know, retrograde actions happen all the time. But when it's Mercury, it's like one of those big deals, isn't it? That everything starts to move backwards. So it's in Gemini, which is its natural placing. So there's a sense of, it almost feels like, okay, so I'm going to be moving backwards a little bit through this sign because I love it so much. Communication slows down when Mercury starts to retreat. But in Gemini, there's almost a sense of calming down. There's almost a sense of, you are given this time to really focus on what it is you want to say, how you want to be perceived in this lifetime, let's say, how you want to communicate with your loved ones, with your friends, with the world, how you want to write, how you want your language to be. So you might find that this is a time where you want to write, where you want to write more, where you want to journal more, especially with Mercury, because it is a planet of communication, but because it's in Gemini, there's almost that sense of double communication that's coming up. So you might find yourself just retreating a little bit more. You may also find yourself biting your lip before you can communicate with somebody, or that you want to say something to someone and they're off somewhere else, and it's a little bit more difficult to communicate with them. Of course, traditionally with Mercury, it sort of messes up with the technical stuff. So, you know, computers and cell phones and all this kind of thing can be a little bit out of whack, and especially if we've got any sun action going on that's going to send that our way, and then of course communication will have some problems then too. We've also got around the 13th to the 15th, we've got Mars, which is opposing Saturn, and Mars is a fiery planet. It's fire and it's action and it gets things moving, whereas Saturn, it's slow, it grounds you, it makes you really think before you take action. So with these two planets sort of opposing each other, it's almost like two people. So one person saying, let's do it, let's go for it, and the other person saying, no, we need to take our time. So there's a sense with this of push, pull, and you may have difficulty with decisions, especially as that Mercury is coming up. I know Mercury is coming up before the 19th, so you get that kind of preparatory, what is that word? Preparing action before the actual Mercury retrograde. So with Saturn and Mars opposing each other, and then we have the Mercury coming in as well, there's a sense of this month that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to make decisions, to really take action, to really move forward. So there's a lot of things that are pulling us back. Towards the end of the month, there's Mars again square Neptune, and Mars is the fiery energy and Neptune is the watery energy, but Neptune it links with your imagination, with that vision. You know, it's a Pisces energy, so we can go off into la la land, whereas Mars wants you to get moving. So there's movement in your feelings, movement in your emotions, and there's almost a sense with this of forgotten feelings. So something that's been stuffed down is going to start coming up again. This is perfect because of that Mercury retrograde, because we are going to go more inside of ourselves, communicate with ourselves, communicate with our emotions. So I can feel that coming up in me as well, which is kind of interesting. So there's a sense of, this is a wonderful month, but we're going very much into ourselves and we're bringing stuff out. And then we're going to be thinking about how to move forward. Am I ready to move forward? It's going to be a little bit slow, but there's a lot going on internally. So, okay, let's get on with your birth sign. Let's get started. Okay, Virgo. So yours is interesting. They're all interesting, of course. So you have in your 6th house, you have Tanzanite, which is this beautiful violet stone, and then you have Malachite, which is this lovely kind of multiple green stone. So your 6th house is about health, it's about work-life balance, it's about work as well. Your career energy comes into that 6th house. Both of these stones are pattern breakers. So it's really interesting that they came together into that 6th house. So there's some kind of pattern that could be linking with your health, could be linking with a career that you're in. It may be linking with you working too hard and you need to slow down. But even if you need to do that, there's a pattern that links with that. So it's not just about slowing down, it's not just about ill health. There is a pattern that's there, and these two stones are going to help you break that pattern. And what's interesting for me is that when I'm looking at this one, it's very smooth, it's very coordinated, it's very strong, whereas this one, it's a little more fluid almost. It's kind of, it has edges to it that are rough. This is smooth. So I feel as if you are being given a gift by the Earth Goddess on all different levels to help you break this pattern, whatever it is that's been stuck. This takes you to altered states of consciousness. So that pattern can be broken in some kind of a psychotherapy realm, in your dream state, with past life regression, something like this, something where you are being helped to go into another state of consciousness. If you don't want to do it with someone, then it can come in your dream state, but ask for that to happen. The Tanzanite dissolves karmic energy, old karmic bonds, old karmic patterns. So, and this one is dissolving those patterns in the here and now, that green energy right now. So it feels like this is from the past and also the present and the long time ago past. So this is something that you've brought in this lifetime, and I'm getting the sense that you can see the pattern in your family. So just look for those patterns in your family. You're going to be able to heal them this month by the looks of things, which is good, or at least start to heal them this month. With Tanzanite, you also have this opportunity to find your true vocation. So going back to that pattern, it's like you are shifting something so you can move in the direction that your heart has most wanted to move in, your true vocation. So if someone in your family didn't do what they wanted to do, didn't go in the direction they wanted to go in because of one reason or another, that pattern is within you, and it's up to you now to shift it. So then the final stone that came up for you is black tourmaline, and this went into your 8th house. The 8th house You know, the 8th house is about death and rebirth, isn't it? So with that black, there's almost a sense of, you may not know what you're going to get out of this, but you have to do it. It's time. It's almost like time for something to be over and time for that new beginning. Black tourmaline is very protective. So anything that comes at you will be transmuted by the black tourmaline. It'll be changed, moved back into the earth. So you are protected. Ask, I'm being told to ask for Metatron, Archangel Metatron, to guide and support you this month and to protect you as well. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that the stone wants to tell me. It's just saying that you are guided, you are protected, to believe that as well. And I'm getting this sense of these two stones together. They're very solid. So there's almost a sense of you creating solid foundations. It's going to be a little bit fluid, a little bit iffy for a while, but this is saying that you're going to create these fabulous solid foundations. Great. Okay, so the bead that came up for you is amethyst. It's an amethyst colored bead, and amethyst it's about letting go of what does not serve you, cleansing your system of habits that are no longer good for you and never were good for you, and waking up to just a new way of being. It's a sobriety stone, so a sobriety color. So it's saying you are waking up to something or someone. Maybe could be a pattern, could be a relationship with someone, could be that you're waking up to this particular path. This isn't going to work for you, may as well get off it and move on to the next path. Interesting. So the card that came up for you is the Sun card. So take a look at that, see if there's anything that most attracts you at this moment. And then ask yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? So now when I look at this card for you, I see the flowers. Actually, they're buttercups. I see the buttercups. Did you ever do that when you were younger? Pick a get the word out. Pick a buttercup and put it under your chin. If it went yellow, you like butter, that kind of thing. I feel that with this buttercup, it's saying that you are going to find your tribe, that you are going to find the people that most resonate with you, that you are all the same vibration, let's say. And there's a sense of, this is what you're moving through right now. And it may be that you've been mixing with people that don't resonate, that don't connect with you. And this is saying you are going to connect to the people that are most like your tribe. But this is also a great card because it brings in wealth and abundance. So I feel that, you know, you may have had a little bit of a dark night of the soul. And so with this, there's a sense of you're getting over a big hump. And once you're over that, I can see you running. There's a sense of, you know, there's freedom that's there in this. And there's a wonderful sense of abundance that's coming in. Not necessarily money, it could be something else. But whatever it is, it's going to be good. Okay, that's it for this month's Astrocolorscope. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do remember to subscribe to my love letter and grab your free colour kit at bit.ly/colour kit. You can find out your true colours. Also, please leave me a comment below. Let me know if the messages resonated for you. And remember, I have my own store. I have lots of goodies in my store. This is one of them. That's store.sealedwithlove.com. And the final thing is, if you want to train with me, come to one of my play shops. I will be teaching an intuition play shop at the Omega Institute in July. You can find out more about that in my love letter. Okay, I will see you next week with the Colorscope, crystal Colorscopes, right? Lots of love. Bye.